So you want to know how I make multi-millions on Airbnb, gang? Let me tell you, I'm super excited. How I went from nothing to something to diamond rings after this intro. So the biggest question you must ask yourself is how I went from absolutely nothing to where I'm at. So let's take a trip with me back down to memory lane. Hey gang, I grew up in a bedroom, I grew up in a 2-bedroom with 13 people in it. Talking about all my uncles, my cousins and stuff. When I hear these stories about people who grew up with absolutely nothing, I hear these Airbnb gurus and these other real estate guys, how they grew up with nothing. They talk about how their parents grew up with nothing, how their parents immigrated from some country, right? But they never talk about themselves. Or they, better yet, this is the one that blows my mind. They came from a single parent household, but then they moved to the suburbs. What? Gang, if you grew up in the suburbs, is that coming from nothing? Come on, gang. They might have financial issues, but really coming from nothing, being from the suburbs, stop it. All right, let me tell you a guy who came from a drug addict mother. Mother chose drugs and men over me until she was in her, till I was like 20 years old. Of course, we established a relationship. We're good now. But then I have my family who grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment with 13 people in it. All my family's on government assistance, gang. I was in and out of juvenile institutions my whole young adulthood, right? And not just that, from nothing, come on, man. All my family was on welfare. Still, some of them are on government assistance till this day, and they don't want help. Let me tell you something. When somebody says they come from nothing, you better do your history on them, because they're just trying to sell you a war story. That's not true. I come from the straight gutter, and I can relate to a lot of people right now, especially single mothers and young men out there who don't have a father in their life, don't have no direction. Look, I'm not trying to be your father. I might not relate to you because I'm not a woman, but there's one thing that you and I can relate to is that we use that stuff to either fuel us or hinder us. I use it for fuel. Everything that you're going through right now, gang, I use to better my life. Everything I went to, from my mother being on drugs, right, to seeing some nasty things growing up that people are doing to people, right, to seeing gangbangers and bad stuff that a kid should not see at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. Being in juvenile institutions till I was 11 to 17 years old, back to back. I'm that guy. I might not relate to you, but there's one thing that I can relate to you, is that I used all that stuff to stop me. I used all that stuff for excuses. And what I did is I excused it. And the person I am today, I used it to better my life. And here is how I used it and how I make millions on the Airbnb platform, gang. In my early 30s, I was still broke. I had a negative 13 cents in my bank account. I was almost $40,000 in debt, gang. I was in my early 30s going back to my grandma's house, being on EBT, giving me a $200 card a month to get food. Thank you, state of California. Without that, I would have been broke and been lost like 100 pounds. But you guys helped me out, gang. And I'm going to tell you right now, the multi-millions that I'm at now, I use the problems that I had in my life as fuel. That chip on my shoulder that I have every single day, I use that. That's my unfair advantage that I have over a lot of people. So how do I make millions, and how have I attracted millions on the Airbnb platform? I have over 200 plus listings, guys. I did not start this business with 200 plus listings. I manage 70 of them at this point, and the remaining are my portfolio under signature, right? I started this business by managing people's rentals, finding rentals and managing them, built that up to acquiring rentals, and now I have the dignity to share this success in my free training that I have. It's in the description somewhere, and I train people how to do this. I've helped hundreds of people start their short-term rental business. Check this out. I have a 19-year-old in Nashville, Tennessee. Come on, gang, this guy has no credit, okay? Grew up in a very, very bad upbringing. Talking about relate. And now, this dude's making like $57K a month. Has 11 rentals in Nashville, which is a super Airbnb-friendly place. Check this out. This dude is about to acquire 30 more rentals, gang. 19-year-old kid, focused, love to see it. The unfair advantage that I have over a lot of these gurus is discipline, consistency, and I'm the real deal. I'm the real deal. I've been through that, and I still wake up and acting like I still been through that. I still have my Payless shoes in the back of my car. I still have the old journals I had when I was dead broke saying I'm rich and I'm a millionaire. I still have pictures of me not being there for my son. I don't have accolades on my desk. I have the bad stuff on my desk to remind me that I need to bust it every single day. What I do is I rent out apartments. I put them on the Airbnb platform. Those rentals a month average make me $2,700 a month. And I have doors, just individual doors where it might be like a 3-bedroom. Those are doing about $1,300 to about $1,700 per door after all expenses. And it makes me a ton of money. Tons of money. And what I do with the money is I continue to invest in that portfolio. I do not take luxurious vacations. This is one of my beachfront properties that I have here. I'm actually acquiring more rentals while I'm down here. So I'm doing business while I'm having a good time. And you can too. Don't let your shortcomings be your position of coming up short. Use those shortcomings as a gateway and a stepping stone for you to step into the better version of yourself, like I did. I started with a simple Google search and I dominate in this game. All these other guys that say they have like 30, 40 rentals, come on man, I have 4 times it. Check this out, I guarantee you this, I have 4 times the amount than every single guru that you follow on the internet. I have as many rentals as all of them combined. I guarantee you I do, okay? And I just laugh at this stuff. It just upsets me. I get so many messages. Have you seen this guy? Have you seen this guy? And that guy? None of that stuff, man. I'm telling you right now, gang, if you really want to know how to become successful in the Airbnb business, I highly advise that you take my training. How I went from nothing, how you can start with no money, no credit, no experience. And it is super inexpensive to get started in this business. And it takes absolutely nothing but the equity of effort. Or you can continue to do what you do. I make millions on this platform every single year. And it keeps growing more and more. And guess what else is about to happen? IPO. IPO, an initial public offering, which means they're about to go public, which means that's more eyeballs that are going to be on the platform. And I am surprised that there's not many people using this platform to get rich. I'm going to help you get there because I've been there and I'm keep coming up and you're going to come up with me, gang. Let's dive in. Boom.